Hello, this is Matt from tracyandmatt.co.uk, and here we are looking at the Lenovo IdeaTab S6000. This is a 10.1 inch tablet from the guys at Lenovo. I guess kind of sitting at towards the lower end of the tablet spectrum. It isn't the highest of resolution displays, and it is a quad-core 1.2 processor inside. But nevertheless, it is from, oh, they're still sealed. It is from a very well recognised and respected brand, rather than a no-name brand. So let's take a look at what we've got inside. To say we have a 10.1 inch display. There are quite a few 10.1s out there at the moment. Let's just pop that to one side. So inside, well, obviously the tablet itself, which we're going to just move out of the way for a moment and look at what else is in the box. So we have the quick start guide and manual there. We then have the charger, so obviously UK 3-pin, and we do have the, okay, tablet's just started itself up, so that's interesting what all that noise is. So then we have the USB socket on the back of that as well. Also in the box, a USB to micro USB sync and charge connector, and that's it. That's all that's in the box. That's all we get. No headset. I don't think we. Seems to be pretty standard that we don't get headsets with tablets, but so there's definitely one here. So just take that out, and obviously it also has already started up as I removed it from the box. But we'll take a look around the hardware first. So 10.1 inch display. Is a 1280 by 800 pixels, so effectively just over the 720p HD resolution. It is 10.1, full capacitive touchscreen, supports 10-finger multi-touch, and it is an IPS LCD, so it should be fairly reasonably bright and clear, albeit that it's a slightly lower resolution than well, fairly low resolution, if you like, compared to a number of the other sort of 10-inch tablets that are hitting the market at upwards of 1900 pixels wide. But nevertheless, that's what we have here. We have a forward-facing VGA camera for using for your kind of your video conferencing type stuff, Skype and so on. And on the side, somewhat perhaps more unusually, we have the HDMI output. On micro HDMI connector. Other tablets do have it, but it's not as common. Up and down volume control, we have the micro USB sync charge connector. Then we have a cover which pops open, allows us to use the micro SDHC memory cards, which supports up to 64 gig cards, and that's in a neat little cover that goes over the side as well. Running around to the bottom, nothing really to see on the bottom. And to the other side again, nothing to see, all the way around to the top. So right on the top here, we have a little hole there, which is the microphone. We then have a 3.5mm headphone socket, which supports headsets as well, so you can actually use it with an inline microphone type headset. And then the power button, which obviously I must have pressed as we took it out of the box. And then a 5-megapixel autofocus camera on the back, which doesn't have a flash, but not too many tablets do have flash. A couple of them do, but not this one. We have stereo loudspeakers on the back as well, so they're behind those little grills in either corner, and obviously they do face backwards, so that is a little bit of a, not a problem as such, I guess, but you know that most of the sound is going to go backwards away from you rather than forwards. But that's again fairly typical of tablet design just at the moment. Obviously you have the Lenovo logo on the back, and that's about all. Nothing really else to see on the front. There is a bezel around the outside of the screen, which you can probably make out there as I angle towards our studio lights there. And it's not too thick a bezel. I guess it's kind of on par with what you'd see on an iPad in terms of the bezel size. Rest of the spec, quickly run down that. It's 260mm wide, 180 tall, and 8.6mm thick. It's not terribly thick. There are thin tablets out there, but they typically going to be a bit more expensive. 560 grams in terms of the weight. Again, not the lightest, but not the heaviest either. and you know, it's not really heavy at all. Easily able to hold it in just one hand, and you know, use the other hand to actually operate it. There are 16 and 32 gigabyte models available. Not sure what we have here. We'll have a look in a moment when we actually get inside. And we also have 1 gig of RAM. I've already mentioned the quad-core 1.2 gigahertz Cortex processor, and then we've got accelerometer, compass, and Android OS 4.2 currently. Again, we'll just double check that as we get into the UI. We have GPS with assisted GPS, obviously Wi-Fi supporting 802.11bg and N standards, Wi-Fi hotspot modes, and Bluetooth 4.0. I think that pretty much covers it. So let's go and get started. We'll accept all the defaults here. We'll accept the license agreement, obviously, else we can't use it. And then we're going to go and connect to our wireless network, as we always do. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to obtain an IP address, and we're going to connect, hopefully. There we are connected, so let's go to the next process. I'm not going to set up an account just for the moment. Just want to get in as quickly as possible. And there we go. So we start up. If you've seen any of the other Lenovo tablets out there, there are several in the range, and obviously there is the new Yoga 7 and 10 inch tablets just hitting the market as well. But we have a standard Lenovo style home screen, so we have these effective folders. We've got a calendar, we've got a folder with games, media, tools, business and social. Then we have a notes, and then the weather in the corner there. Lenovo registration, print, Norton Mobile is pre-installed, Evernote, Play Store, and the actual web browser. In terms of notifications, got a thing up in the corner here, so telling us battery life, settings, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, data usage, airplane mode, and brightness, which I am going to turn to maximum. It's pretty bright actually. Turn to maximum just for the purpose of doing the video. In this corner we've got the notifications. There's a firmware update available, so that's quite good. I won't bother doing that just at the moment, but it's also telling us about registration and Norton product launcher in the corner there as well. We have back, home, and obviously the running apps button, which we will ignore just for the moment. We then can swipe across. We have a blank panel, 2 blank panels. Coming back the other way, yeah. So we've only got stuff in the middle populated at the moment. We've got 5 other panels, or 4 other panels to play with. In the corner, we've got preferences, manage apps, system settings, add more, and one touch clear. And then the launcher. We have pretty much straightforward game titanium there. It's a file manager. Looking fairly standard stuff. Lenovo power settings. There's a hotels app there as well. Looks like we've got all of the widgets there as well. Tons of widgets, as you'd expect. There's a lot of those are the sort of standard stuff that we see on many other Android devices anyway. So I'll just pop into the settings menu and just quickly have a look in. So storage. So we've got 12.873, so this is presumably the 16 gigabyte model, allowing us 12.873, obviously the rest taken up by the actual operating system itself. And we'll just take a look in here, and we've got Android 4.2.2. Yeah, it's the latest build there, and obviously there was a notification of an update, so we'll look at that at some other point. Coming back out of here, I'm going to pop into the browser. With the browser, we'll just go to our site for consistency's sake again. Ooh, that's really annoying ticky. It's a really annoying keyboard tick. It's just an actual just a really irritating tick. I don't mind keyboard ticks, but that would have to be turned off. So the page loads pretty quickly, obviously using broadband and Wi-Fi. And as I already mentioned, obviously not the highest of resolution displays available on the market, 1280 by 800 pixels, but still pretty clear. I mean, there's a certain, obviously, jagginess, if you like, to the lettering, which you can probably make out there. That's obviously a function of the fact that it's 149 pixels per inch whereas obviously there are tablets that are in the 300 range out there, but nevertheless it's still, you know, clear enough to read. 1280 pixels in terms of the width is pretty good, and we can switch around the other way, and it's pretty quick to change thanks to the accelerometer from portrait to landscape modes. So that's working quite nicely. Going back home, we will take a look at, let's take a look at a YouTube video. We won't sign in just now. And we'll do a search for that. Really does have to be turned off. So let's have a look at one of these here. This is just something that we just uploaded just now. And we've got the volume control on the side. We'll turn that down and skip that. There we go, that's just playing there. So we can full screen that. And most of our videos are recorded or uploaded in 720p, so it's kind of close to being native for this tablet. That's doing a good enough job. Video playback isn't bad at all. Obviously YouTube's not going to be the best example of video playback, but video playback's pretty smooth nevertheless. Let's do a quick benchmark. Sign into an existing Google account very quickly. Let's sign in. Right, update it. See, it's just signed in. We're going to tell me about all my Hangouts. Okay, go down and install Quadrant. So there are other benchmark tools out there, but we've used this for a while and it's kind of consistent. So let's just download and install. Nearly there. So to give it its best possible chance, we'll close everything else off before we run that benchmark. Run that in full. I think we'll want to run that way around, so just pop that down and let that run through. There we go, that's the last test. So let's get our benchmark result. And where are we? There's our device down there at 3,808. So if I run that again, it will be slightly different, but that just gives you a little indicator. Obviously with a 1.2 quad-core processor, it hasn't disgraced itself, but you're not going to buy a tablet like this if you're looking for the optimum blistering performance. But then obviously that's reflected in the price of this particular device and its position in the market. And it doesn't do a bad job. I've used it's one of its sibling devices, if you like, and it works okay. But there we go. So I think that's enough of a look at the Lenovo IdeaTab S6000. We'll have a review for you over the coming weeks once we've had a chance to really give it a good test. Number of tablets in at the moment, obviously leading up to Christmas, everybody's pushing out their tablets, so we'll have a review for you coming up pretty shortly. In the meantime, if you want to follow us on Twitter, please do so, and you want to ask us any questions, please do so. It's twitter.com/TracyandMatt or facebook.com/tracyandmatt.co.uk. If you want to get in touch with me via Google+, please do so. It's +MattDavis1, that's MattDavis, and the number 1 or if you want to check out our Google Plus pages where you can find the rest of the team, it's plus Leod, Leodee, which is indeed our YouTube channel name as well. We also do have our weekly podcast. Please do come and check that out. We podcast on mobile, and we also have a Retro Tech Addicts podcast as well. So we have the Mobile Tech Addicts podcast and the Retro Tech Addicts podcast. We alternate those every other week. So please do come and check those out as well. Details, you'll find those on the site too. I'll be back soon with some more videos and reviews on tracyandmatt.co.uk. But for now, thanks for watching.